In the late 1980s, while researching a play I was writing about Marlene Dietrich, I remember reading that director Joseph von Sternberg inserted 15 meters of black for the Berlin premiere of The Blue Angel, following Dietrich singing Falling in Love Again. It was a move that infuriated her leading man, Amo Jannings, but the blackout elicited the audience cheers that assured Marlene's ascent into stardom. Hello, and welcome to Slipstream, a series of introductions to films currently available on Kanopy, a first-rate streaming service available free to many users of public libraries, perhaps even yours. This series is brought to you by Grey Highlands Public Library and Speaking Volumes Books and Audio in Flesherton, Ontario. My name is Kevin Land. Shooting on The Blue Angel began in November 1929. Although widely regarded as Germany's first talkie feature, it was not. The honor belonged to a project from a rival studio, and the result was a far less significant one. The Blue Angel was based on Professor Runrat, a novel by Heinrich Mann. It tells the story of a professor at a college who, attempting to safeguard the morals of his students from the perils represented by a local cabaret, which featured a singer-prostitute named Lola Lola, becomes obsessed with the performer himself. Directed by Joseph von Sternberg, the film was shot sequentially, which almost never happens, and in two versions, one German and one English, which is even rarer. For the crew and the actors, not to mention for the director, this would be something of a logistical nightmare. Marlene had only adequate English herself, and the performance of Falling in Love Again was said to have been done 235 times, because she kept singing moss instead of moths. Despite the expressionistic street scenes reminiscent of the German classic The Cabinet of Dr. Caligari, the film does give the viewer some insight into life in the seedier cabarets and clubs which abounded during the Weimar Republic. Amo Jannings cut his teeth on playing sympathetic characters who are brought down as a result of unfortunate circumstances. In F.W. Murnau's silent film from 1924, The Last Laugh, currently featured on Kanopy, Jannings received great acclaim for his portrayal of a hotel porter demoted to washroom attendant. He was also the recipient of the first ever Academy Award for Best Actor for his roles in the films The Lost Command and The Way of All Flesh. Jannings was at the top of his game for the filming of The Blue Angel, but he was unprepared for the dynamic Dietrich. Joseph von Sternberg had seen her perform in its stage show starring Hans Albers, who was to play the strongman in the film. He knew immediately he wanted to cast her as Lola Lola. Deciding she was unlikely to get the role, Marlene did not even bring the song he had asked for and brought another instead. This only whetted the young director's appetite. Jannings detected very early on that the focus of the film would less entail the professor than the sultry singer, resulting in a tug-of-war on set that mimicked the love triangle in the film. In many ways, the film reflects the abandonment of narrative styles from the silent era, which are replaced by new opportunities presented with sound. Jannings' excessively mannered performance, particularly in the early going, seems curiously out of step with the rest of the film, which serves to ratchet up the pathos of the character, but it also shines increasing light on Lola Lola. The actor grew to loathe Marlene during the filming for his perceived marginalization and the support given her by the director, who knew on which side the bread was buttered. It was said that the scene of the professor's attempted strangulation of Lola Lola went well beyond the demands, and the strongman had to pull the enraged actor off the singer. Von Sternberg even changed the ending of the film, taking the viewer from the classroom as originally scripted, and adding a reprise of Lola Lola performing Falling in Love Again. Von Sternberg and Dietrich would take their act to America and collaborate on 5 other films from 1930 to 1935. Throughout her career, Marlene was meticulous about how she was to be lit and photographed, as von Sternberg had taught her. She always rejected claims that he was her Svengali, preferring instead to refer to him as a Professor Higgins. Although Dietrich and von Sternberg fled Germany, Emil Janis was not so wise. He remained there to further his career, ultimately being named by Joseph Goebbels as an artist of the state. After the war, he had to undergo denazification, which effectively killed his career. The Blue Angel evokes 2 suggestions for me for films I would like to see on Kanopy. The first is Maximilian Schell's film Marlene from 1984, which arose from 14 hours of interviews he conducted with the actress. He creates a fascinating study, even though he had to agree not to photograph her. The other film is entitled Prisoner of Paradise from 2002. It tells the story of Kurt Guerin, who plays the producer in The Blue Angel. Unable to realize his dream of becoming a film director, Guerin, who had been captured by the Nazis as a Jew in 1943 and sent to a concentration camp near Prague, made propaganda films praising the German treatment of the Jewish people who were imprisoned there. He was later sent to Auschwitz, where he was killed. Next time on Slipstream, we consider another actor at the top of her game, Geraldine Page in The Trip to Bountiful. But for now, enjoy The Blue Angel.